playing Pokemon Omega Ruby. Take it away.
Hello. Good morning or good night, everyone, depending on where you live. I'm Boxmeister. With me on co-commentary, I have a very accomplished runner in the form of Wartap.
Hello, yeah, it's me.
As cheerful as ever. Before I start, I want to close down the trainer incentive. Last time we checked, it was Cruel in the lead, right?
It was indeed. Let me refresh one final time here. I just closed that incentive. And yes, it is. The trainer name will be Cruel. Seed. Well, you know how to spell Cruel. It's the runner Cruel.
Capital C, right?
Yeah, capital C.
Cool. Then I'd say without further ado, let us get into the game. So I'll be starting in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Boxmeister.
Thank you. So, Omega Ruby, Gen 6 remake of Ruby. And with Alpha Sapphire being the remake of Sapphire. So, yeah, we have a Gen 3 game with Gen 6 mechanics. Which may get you stuck on corners, may gives you the fairy type, and gives you some cool cutscenes, some people might say. So we have this opening cutscene, and we'll be picking the girl. We kind of want to have the girl because the natures of your rival's Pokemon will depend on the gender of the player character that you choose. And if you just play as May, you get favorable natures.
Yeah, it is very interesting how this game operates. Considers the rivals different trainers in the trainer data.
Now, normally we would name the player character a single character because that's the shortest. Luckily, the game prints at 8 characters per frame, so it shouldn't waste me too much time, I think. Virtually none at all, actually. So, soon I'll be setting my options. The options are the standard options, fast text, no animations, and no prompts for switching Pokemon. Amongst others. So. And I'm also setting button mode L as A, so that means that I can hold L to have the text in the text box advanced at its maximum speed, and I mash B and the touchscreen to continue the text. You can also use different modes. It's just preference at this point.
I think you accidentally left the battle effects on.
I'll double check that. Not gonna be, but I mean, it's worth it to go back into the menu to set that off, given how slow they are.
Yeah, I don't think you would be subestimate if you left those on.
Yeah, definitely not. I believe you and Araya did a battle effects on for the Champion Fight in Let's Go 1.5 years back. And you were talking about how that would... Oh yeah. Good spot, well spotted. Okay. Funny, in the original Ruby you would set the clock actually in the game, so you would like set it at the hour and seconds. This game will take the clock straight from your 3DS clock. I also noticed that I have the Gen 6 mechanic of Gen 6 introduced mechanic of diagonal movements. I will be using diagonal movement from time to time in the run. But I can also control this game a little bit more freely outdoors with the C stick, with the analog stick. allowing for some more optimal movements. It optimizes the use of repels a little bit later, I believe. You actually have your repels last a little bit longer when you use the stick.
Yeah, don't ask why.
Yeah, it's weird.
Who knows?
It's weird how that works. Indoors, I'll be mostly sticking to the D-pad, because you'll be stuck to a grid anyway. And analog stick there would be prone to mistakes. What I could also do is I can use the L button to talk to people, and you can basically be facing them diagonally, and then the game will automatically turn you to face them. Although...
It's slower.
Yeah.
Looking at them costs you 5 frames every time you do it.
So I'll be doing a few resets here at most. Can I get the Mudkip name already? Frosty.
Yes, definitely. I just closed that incentive for you. It seems that Smugkip was still in the lead, so yes, it is. So Smugkip, S M of Maria, UG, KIP.
Not gonna run with 8 speed. Actually, I'm gonna do it like this. Yeah. I'm not gonna accept 8 speed. That'll get me into trouble if I do that.
Yep. It's no.
I do have a backup Mudkip prepared in case I can't get a runnable one. So I am at the point I have to use a backup Mudkip, I'll have to stick with a different name until the Slateport name raider. So at that point, I'll ask Frosty to reopen the incentive.
Name raider. I don't even know what that is.
I'll take this one until the rival. If it's unrunnable, I'll take it to. I'll resort to the backup kit.
Yeah, that was some Monka stats here. This Mudkip is less than 25% to be good enough for the speedrun.
Yeah, it's 50% on the attack, and it's 46% on the defense. Which means a 23% chance total.
Yeah, for Mudkip you kinda need a lot of requirements to be met. Because you need good attack, you need decent speed, you need decent special attack, you need decent defense.
In case it's spelled wrong, Frosty, just say so, and I can change that in Slateport.
But this was completely perfect.
Cool.
Boxmeister going too fast.
Yeah, I figured it's faster to do so this way.
Oh, level 3 worm, bro.
Yeah, this encounter is fixed. In a sense, you always get a level 3 Wurmple there. You normally can't even encounter level 3 Wurmples here on this route, if I remember correctly. So it's a bit...
Actually, no. I don't think... Yeah, you're right, I think.
So it's a bit of an odd one. In Pokemon, I actually have something similar. You always encounter a Pidgey in the first grass. So they left that the same for this game, actually.
Yeah, and if you were to try and catch something on this route, it would be 100% catch rate.
Except that we don't have Pokeballs right now.
Yeah, correct.
Also, I'm a bit unlucky getting an encounter before the rival fight. an extra encounter, that is. At the very least, not getting outsped by the Zigzagoon, but I would be surprised if I would get outsped, because this Mudkip has really good speed that I currently have.
Yeah, this is a hasty nature. I'm correct.
Yeah, it's hasty. I have the tracker open in front of me. But there's a good chance that I'll have to switch Mudkips after this fight.
Yeah. Not even 10 minutes into run already talking about making the run invalid. Nice.
Yeah, it is. It's a necessary evil. You could get stuck for hours on the starter resets because only 42% of the Mudkips is runnable, and the game tends to be trolly with that. 14, 10, 12, 11, 12. That is runnable, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, that's some lucky start here.
The good news is I have decent special attack and really good speed, so I don't have to worry about that. Attack is still somewhat mediocre, which only will cost me a few ranges at most. Defense is kind of bad. Luckily, I'll be doing safety saves for the really difficult fights. But so far, this Mudkip is actually runnable. First try. GG. That's already a big bonus, I'd like to say.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So apparently I need to raise my microphone volume. Rip. Oh, can I even do that?
I can raise it somewhat. I just need a cutscene, and I think I already have one in mind which I can use. I'll use one.
There's cutscenes in this game? Wow.
There will be cutscenes, yes.
Wowie.
Yeah, the grip we have to use on the 3DS for this meshing with the touchscreen and the B button can be a bit awkward to get used to. There are also some mad lads who actually run by having the 3DS put on a table, which I can't totally see how that would work.
It doesn't.
It wouldn't for me, I can tell you that much.
People who do that are crazy.
Or are named Pulse.
Yeah. Basically a synonym at this point. Wow, so many encounters. Nice.
Yeah, this run is going to be blessed with encounters. To be fair, encounters are your most of the encounters are your worries. Most of the time, encounters are only a thing before the second gym. After that, we always have repels on. Well,
tell that to your shiny Meditite.
Yeah, okay. I was a scrub when that happened. Okay. Let's see. Not a good roll.
Oh, missing the war tab ring.
No. I got it. Let's see. 15, 11, 13, 12, 13. I saw.
Yeah, this mudkip is not amazing, but it's good enough.
Oh wow, this is the first time in ages that I got no encounters on this route. I always get an encounter on this route. So the game is trying.
Good.
Yeah, the game is trying to make up for the fact that I got 2 encounters already on the first routes. Aside from the forced encounter, we don't count that one. Also, let's see. There you go. I turned you up a little bit, Wartep.
Thank you, streamer. I
That's
appreciate it.
Yeah, I can hear you a lot more clearly now as well.
That's great. Now we can interfere with the speedrun.
I have some wonderful ASMR on my headphones currently.
That's me.
So here we'll be getting introduced to Wally, which will give us this game's version of a catch tutorial. Now the catch tutorial in the original games was a bit infamous because some interesting things could happen there. Wally could get a shiny Ralts. He would actually be able to kill the Ralts outright. And still act as if he catched it. Got it. So it's interesting. However, in this game they fixed it, to some extent. Zigzagoon can't crit the Ralts, if I remember correctly.
I couldn't crit it in Gen 3 either. You just... The only way that the Ralts was dying was if it had really bad defense. The Zigzagoon really good attack, I think. And then getting 2 high rolls.
Or you could have it like I had and actually own a Game Shark, and I had the cheat enabled to kill every Pokemon in one attack, and that actually applied to the catch tutorial as well. So the Zigzagoon would kill the Ralts on the first turn, and then the game would still act like it caught it. It's interesting to see that.
So much cheating.
I know, right? It was a fun
Are you gonna turn on that cheat today too?
I wish I could. My 3DS and the games on it are pretty vanilla and legit. And it's almost a bit sad that I didn't have to use the backup Mudkip, because the backup Mudkip is on what I would call my crash card. That game, my card would always crash at the credits at a specific point. So we're missing the built-in glitch exhibition right now. Feels bad, man. Okay.
Oh, did not get punished. Nice.
Yeah, I overshot the movement slightly. Also didn't get punished by the bug catcher, the first bug catcher. I will be saving here as well. So, this is the first quote-unquote problematic fight in this run. Because this grunt has a Poochyena, and this Poochyena has a move called Sand Attack, which is usually what can get you into a world of trouble. He also has Howl, Tackle, and Howl increases attack, so this fight can go poorly pretty quickly. We're just gonna see how it works out.
But streamer, if you get sand attacked 6 times, does your Mudkip already become a ground type?
I got sand attacked once already. Twice. Ooh. So it's 50-50 now. There we go. Got him. Okay, so far so good.
I think you should reset to show people how bad this fight can go.
Yeah, no. Let's not do that. Also, the defense IV is also pretty high on this Mudkip. It's 25 to 28 IVs. It is a minus nature, but not the worst.
Pretty sure HP is also relatively high at this point.
15-16 HP.
Yeah.
So it has good odds of surviving the second really problematic trainer, who is known who's known by the name of Hideki. But we'll get to that. I am
But
gonna.
You mean that you have a 31% chance to beat him instead of 30?
Maybe. The special attack does guarantee it for guarantee it to be 3 turns, so that's already a big plus.
That's some famous last words, cause I think you're gonna die in 2.
That might be. We'll be saving.
I'm calling the crit turn 1 without focus energy. And then you die.
Yeah, you really do want me to suffer, don't you?
It's like that one big rule, don't run Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire at a marathon.
Yeah, otherwise you might get something like 3 Glacia deaths in a row. Am I right?
No, that cannot happen. Impossible.
Totally didn't happen a few years ago.
No.
Luckily, Galatia isn't as much a problem for me as it was for WhatsApp back in the day. Although it can still happen, I should say. She can still do sheer cold. Although the odds are really low. It is still the reason I take a safety save there in marathon settings.
But Strimmer, why are you finding optionals?
Well, this optional will give us, some well-needed experience and a defense IV. So, you know, being higher leveled is in general more favorable. Let's see, 16, 14. I did miss what my attack stat was over there.
19.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's at the very least not completely abysmal. It's 16 to 17 IV neutral attack.
It's good enough.
Yeah, good enough. Won't get me too many ranges. You know what the sad part's gonna be? I'm saving time with respect to my PB on Roxanne, because I gotten way less encounters.
Rip.
I think. So, this Geodude has Sturdy. However, if you damage it like that the first turn, she will be queued to use Potion on the second turn, allowing us to easily kill the Geodude.
Yeah, this
all of a sudden you have a level 100 Groudon in your party.
Yeah, it went really quickly. Don't worry, guys. He continued playing. It's all not pre-recorded.
It is not pre-recorded, and I'm not on PP pace anyway, so I'm not too worried.
You can prove it by releasing his Mudkip.
Not the smart kid.
Poor Mudkip. Mudkip did nothing wrong so far. And to be fair, Mudkip will be very useful throughout the run, because he'll be your HM slave a little bit later down the line. Also, this is unreasonable.
And you kinda asked for it by stepping in the grass when you could have not stepped in grass.
Yeah, I tend to overstep that grass over there to actually hit the other trainer. Which, you know, is bad. This is also...
Point out all the mistakes.
at the very least.
Yeah, whenever a power point is consumed, it's gonna raise its power by 40 power.
Yeah. For this particular fight, we'll be using Rock Tomb as well.
Ah, Rock Tomb, such a nice move.
Mm-hmm. Great, it sand attacked me. Oh boy. These hits. I do have a safety save, but looks like I'll need to heal Mudkip again. Oh boy. 25, 18, 21, 18. This fight can sometimes be incredibly dangerous if he uses move like Sand Attack and gets crits, which is also a pain. It's not as dangerous as the first Grunt fight, but it's not 100% safe. Good. What? Oh. Yeah, okay, this, I'm glad that this mistake happened, because this is also one of the Gen 6 mechanics you kind of have to deal with in Oris. The so-called thing where the trainer can actually see you upon turning. Care to elaborate a little bit on that, Wartep?
Oh, you hit the spinner. Oops.
Yeah, basically I went up right as he turned. So I got
Yeah.
a bit unlucky there.
Spinners can see you if you pass them while they're turning, even if they're not looking at you. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, he turned
Right.
rather
But this-
quickly.
Yeah, this train is not too bad to hit, and also makes you evolve a little bit earlier, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, and it gives a ton of defense IVs, which is not bad in my case, since I got a minus defense nature. Might ever so slightly make the difference. In especially since he also gives XP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think this gives you a higher level for Hideki too, so that's
Yeah.
something you can appreciate.
Yeah, it's. I think it's the trainer we also recommend for beginner trainers, right? For beginner runners, I mean.
I don't think so. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe.
Maybe.
I think it's the trains in Roxanne's gym.
Ah, yeah,
So
that makes sense.
gives more money.
It's not the worst trainer, as you may have seen. I was able to dispatch the trainer pretty easily. Luckily, money wasn't the problem for me either, since I have a really good speed, so I don't need to buy as many speed items. So here we'll be purchasing a few repels and a few super potions. Yeah, an extra level on Hideki would improve my chances considerably, because the extra level, well, gives me extra defense, obviously, but it also is directly present in the damage calculating formulas. So that means I'll be doing more damage whilst he be doing less damage, if I remember correctly. At the same defense.
No, no, the level is only used for offensive calculations, not defensive.
Okay, that makes sense.
But you have more HP, so you will not die in 2 hits without crits. That is
Yay!
true, I think.
Yeah, I'll be saving regardless. Won't leaving it
Yeah,
up.
You should always save for Hideki.
Yeah,
Just
there's
respect.
even at the best possible stats you can get, Hideki can still troll you somewhat. It's never 100% safe.
Yeah. Pretty bad.
Once we're past Brawly's gym, the game gets considerably safer.
I cannot wait for that statement to be proved wrong.
I said safer, not safe. Very, very important difference. Now this gym is, this gym is the real challenge of the early game. I'd like to say the most dangerous gym out of them all. Other gym, well, aside from Norman, I guess.
I think this is worse.
Although Norman, you're way more likely to survive. Okay, this is already a good start, quote unquote. Oh boy. I'm gonna have to use a lot of healing items today from the looks of it. But that's fine. I was prepared for that. To be fair, thanks to the optional, I might be able to buy an extra healing item if I want to. Oh, I mismoved. Oh well. So, Hideki, the #1 run killer, I think.
Yeah, easily #1 run killer after stat resets.
Foresight. Low sweep, but I survive another hit, so I'm fine, actually. So we're past Hideki, that's good.
Wow, that's so rude. You should reset and show how long this can go too.
If only this game had multiple saves. This battle girl is not as dangerous as Hideki is. She can only troll you. If she really wants to. And I mean, I'm prepared for the worst for today, because I'm expecting things to go wrong in a marathon run. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. So far it's been fine.
Yeah, it's reasonable. I can't really complain too much about this, aside from the freaking spinner turning. Which was slightly unlucky. And also my own fault for going a little bit too high too soon. Okay, I'm level 15 already before Brawly. Now the question is it wise to put off the silk scarf?
I think you can leave it equipped. I don't know though. Probably safe.
I'll save anyway. I think I'll evolve at the end of the Brawly fight. But I'm not.
Are you? Oh, maybe it's the next battle.
Not completely. Yeah, the next battle for sure. I'm not 100% sure. It's been ages since I hit that spinner in a PB. So, Brawly. Brawly is the same story as every other trainer. It will use Echoed Voice. The reason why we would normally take off the Silk Scarf is because you can knock Brawly's Pokemon into a heal range. And that would waste your turns. However, in this case, figured that would happen. However, in this case, it's not too bad, because this will one-shot the Makuhita, I'm pretty sure.
I hope it does, because otherwise you're dead.
Well, it's still a 5-turn fight, so could be worse.
Yeah,
But it means
okay.
we're past the more difficult part of the run, I'd like to say.
Does that mean we have a little bit of a breather so I can plug a few things?
Go ahead.
Alright, because so far you've been seeing this Smukip doing amazing work, but you know, later in the run we'll have some other mains as well. For example, the Latios, which can also have a nickname. Right now, the name in the lead for the Latios is Skarmory, but if for some reason you want it to be a different name than Skarmory, I wouldn't know why. It's only at 20 euros at this point, so you can still name it anything. You still got, if I say it correctly, like an hour-ish, maybe a little bit more. I don't know exactly know this game. But
a little under an hour for Latios.
Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that one is still open, and we got another legendary later as well, being the Groudon, That one also has a possibility for a nickname. Right now in the lead for that is Barney with 5 heroes. So if you don't like Barney, some people don't, I guess, you can still change that one as well. So if you want to see some cool names on the Pokemons, make sure to donate for that.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, it's good that you mentioned it, Frosty, because this is a run where we'll be using 3 main Pokemon in total. Like Frosty mentioned, aside from Mudkip and later Marshtomp, we'll also be using Latios and Groudon. In Alpha Sapphire, this would be Latias and Kyogre. And it's interesting how the main Pokemon work out for each game, because Latios is a lot better than Latias, but Kyogre is faster than Groudon. So all in all, the runs, the Alpha Sapphire run and the Omega Ruby run are of similar length. It's not. I think the runs are within a minute of one another if done if done optimally. Could be wrong there. What's up?
Yeah, it's pretty much right. Kyogre is just a beast when it comes to defeating the Elite Four, and but Latias, to put it nicely, sucks.
Yeah, I run both games, so I can testify that it's Latias really isn't up to par with Latios. A bad Latios is still about as good or even better than the average Latias, if I put it correctly.
Yeah, pretty much.
So we'll be picking up a few items here. The soft sand will be equipping later. And we'll be picking up a PP up to sell for money.
Imagine getting a soft sand from someone on a beach.
Yeah, it's silly. Nowadays you would find it daily refreshing in the wild area of Pokemon Sword or Shield. Which I think it does. I found several soft sands in the wild area of that game. To be fair, I could also get multiple soft sands if I get lucky with the Rock Smash blocks. Because those can also drop soft sand. Oh. Got to move. Oh well. So we'll be dropping off the items at the museum at Dr. Stern, and we're getting an encounter with Team Magma again. Team Magma in the museum is the grunts in the museum are a lot easier to deal with than the grunts in the forest and in the cave. That's because they have Numels, and Numels, well, they just can't deal with the water too well. This is a range. Looks like I hit the range, so that's good. So here I'll be taking a little bit of safety by putting down my console and just waiting for evolution to finish. Right, Bartep?
Hey, that is rude. It's way too soon to make fun of.
It's only been a few months, Kipo. So yeah, our Schmuck Kip has now turned into a Schmuck Tomb.
But yeah, basically what happened to me here is I was on Word Record Paste TM and pressed B here and died.
Yeah, you need Marshtomp for the next fight, because the next fight is against a Plusle and a Minun. And electric types can't do electric move. Electric type moves aren't effective against Marshtomp because he has the ground type, but they are effective against Mudkip. which is what did war tap in that particular instance. With Marshtomp here, you are in no danger of dying against Discrunt. If I would have been in Torrent after Brawly, I would have skipped the heal and risked it. However, I was near full health, so I healed Marshtomp up. Good. I guess this is a good opportunity to talk about Torrent. The starters each have an ability that increases the power of their starter type moves if the health gets below 33%. So Mudkip would get an increase for water type moves, Trico for grass type moves, and Torchic for fire type moves. Yeah, that increase can guarantee some ranges. For example, I mentioned the first Numel is a range with water type with water gun at full, if not in Torrent. In Torrent, it's no longer a range. However, since you're at lower health, you could get into trouble if you would miss the Rock Tomb, because Rock Tomb is not 100% accurate.
But Strimmer, what is a range?
A range, yes, good question. Well, a range is Pokemon. If you use a move against Pokemon, basically the game rolls 16 different damage values, judging from 0.85 to 1. So that's the multiplier, and the lower end. Some of those numbers might make the quote-unquote range, and some of them don't make the range. So if you see chances of hitting ranges in this game, it'll mostly expressed in a chance X out of 16.
So what you're saying is that sometimes stuff doesn't die because of RNG when it could die.
Yeah, something like that. That's a thing we seriously have to deal with. Let's see, what can I do? I can afford 2 of these. Just to make up for the extra healing items I had to use so far. I know for a fact that I have enough money right now. Also, we'll be getting introduced to Pokemon contests here, so Frosty, if you have anything to say.
Oh boy, yes, I can definitely say some things here, because I'd like to remind everyone that all the donations that you make are gonna go towards Mind, where Mind is a nationwide organization, and they are committed to prevent mental health issues, to support everyone who has dealt with mental issues themselves or their family. To give you a little bit of extra info, in about every region of the world, mental disorders suppress about 10% of the population, and governments have been lacking momentum in reducing the burden of mental health problems, as only 55% have mental health awareness programs, and only 8% of them have suicide prevention plans. Therefore, organizations like Mind, they try to help raise awareness for the issue, helping us get one step closer to a world where everyone gets the help they need. And honestly, I'm a very big fan of this cause, because it's definitely hit close to home for me, and I know it does for a lot of other people as well. So yeah, thanks everyone once again for making donations throughout this entire event.
Nobody saw that. Yeah, I can attest to what Frosty is saying. It's definitely a worthy cause to raise money for. Also, you saw me hitting the area nav map on my touchscreen accidentally. It happens sometimes when you overmesh and you hit the wrong spot of your touchscreen. If you want to use the touchscreen to mesh text, but that might go wrong from time to time. It's always sad when you hit the world map. This fight is pretty safe, because the Plus and Minum can't really do any real damage to us, since Electro-type moves aren't effective against us. They can troll you, however, by using their Oran Berries. They can also bestow it onto us. I guess they can't do that right now, since I still got my Silk Scarf equipped. I didn't put it off at Raleigh.
Yeah, they can only like switch a Rua to you.
Yeah, which I think the Minun just did, so that's how the heal got skipped, which is nice.
Yeah, this is the type of battle when you're doing a run with another Pokemon than Mudkip. You always underestimate because you never think of it with Mudkip because it's so easy.
Let's see, I want Super Repel, and I want... sure, we'll use this one. Do I still make that? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll be safety saving just in case, because I think with my special attack, Grovyle is a range.
Really? No, it shouldn't be, right?
24 special attack neutral?
Yeah, I think it's guaranteed, no? Isn't it guaranteed with 19? I don't have it open here, but I think...
Yeah, I'm using Etiquette's notes, which only list the bare minimum you need. I don't like doing a lot of checks. Let's see. 1. Incinerate. 2. Ember, please don't. 3.
Yeah, I just double checked. It's guaranteed with a 24.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, you can still die if you get burned. Wink, wink.
Okay, I'm all set. This is looking good. Yeah, he's using rock, so I'm fine.
Wow. Where's that battle when you need it?
To be fair, I tend to get decent Rival 2 battles most of the time. Yeah, this fight is in the bag. In the original Ruby Sapphire, this fight is a lot more difficult. But yeah, Echoed Voice makes this battle really, really safe, I'd like to say. If you set it up correctly.
Yeah, you really want to one-shot that Grovyle because it has a Mega Drain, which one-shots Marathon from full HP.
And the reason Wartop was mentioning the burn as well is because the Grovyle also has quick attack. So if you're at low health, it can still kill you. Which is bad. As you may suspect. Okay. Collector turned the right way.
The rival AI is actually random here. So you can go for whatever move even if it doesn't kill.
Now in the slightly older routes I would have picked up the Lepa Berries, but yeah, we rearranged the way we get our PP items in the run recently. And now I just get a free heal at Mount Chimney and pick up an elixir somewhat later down the line. Unless I get a PP restoring item from the Rock Smash blocks. Which is, well, an X chance on top of a 33.3% chance. Preferably I don't get anything from the Rock Smash blocks later. But we'll get there when we pass it. Right now we're getting the bike, the Mac bike, which is a very zoomy fast bike, I'd like to say.
Why not the Acro bike, please?
Bunny hopping all the way across Hoenn, am I right?
Yeah, it's much cooler.
It is cool, but terribly slow. So here we'll be doing a few things. I'll be equipping the Soft Sand, because we'll be switching moves here. So instead of the Echoed Voice, we'll be switching to Bulldoze. And Bulldoze is an amazing move that you can get relatively early into the game. It drops the speed of your opponent Pokemon, and Mudkip will get a same type attack bonus. Marshtomp will get a same type attack bonus due to the fact that it's a ground type as well. So it's really an amazing move, and Watson's gym gets cakewalk thanks to it.
Yeah, the one big positive point of Bulldoze versus Mudshot is that it is a physical move, and Marshtomp is a physical Pokemon.
Yes.
And on top of that, it's 100% accurate, so that is even much better.
Yeah, relying on moves that are not 100% accurate is basically is still a bit of a roulette at times. Because the moves always tend to not hit at the worst possible moments. Also,
Yeah, for
I did-
example, on Champion Battle in XY.
Oh yeah, that one. And you're saying that I'm too soon with my remarks. Jeez. This one happened This one happened last night for WhatsApp for the unknowing viewers. You got robbed by the champion of Kalos in Pokemon X.
Yeah, and you just got robbed by Wally. I think I know who just lost bigger here.
To be fair, it only lost me, I'd like to say 10 seconds.
Yeah, but I don't know. I would feel ashamed if I didn't one-shot a waltz.
To be fair, my Mudkip has 16 to 17 IV attack, so it's not that great. I mean, the attack is good enough, but some things are ranges, such as that routes. It's a very favorable range though, so it's still surprising I missed that. Although I tend to miss that range a lot more often than I'd like to admit. Just this game as well.
The fun fact with that Roz is with Boxmeister's attack, that was a 69% range. Nice.
Oh, that is nice. But you know, it's not the worst. Luckily, it's not the worst range to miss. I'd rather miss that range than some other ranges, which I'll address later, or not at all, just in case I jinx myself. Of all the ranges to miss, that is the least worrisome one, I'd like to say. Am I right?
On
That
waltz, yeah. I mean, okay, so technically, you could die if he goes for Magical Leaf and crits you.
Magically, yeah, right.
And then you have also to get crit by everything in the gym, I think. And then you can die.
Yeah, Ralts did no damage to me, however, so I'm safe. Currently. Yeah, here this gym is a nice showcase of the power of Bulldoze in combination with the ground type on Marshtomp. Because Marshtomp will one-shot nearly everything in this gym. The only exception is Watson's Magnemite, since it has 30. But we'll be dealing with that easily. Because we are doing a little bit of setup on Watson. Anyway, so we'll deal with that by also using a different move. We'll be using Water Gun to break the Sturdy, because Sturdy only kicks into effect if it gets killed, if it gets damage from full health. So we can circumvent it by damaging it first and then laying the Bulldoze on Magnemite. But before we do that, we'll be using an X-Speed. That's to be guaranteed faster than the full Torp. Voltorb can do some nasty things. Like, he can confuse you, am I right? I kind of forgot what he can do exactly since it's been a while.
I know it's the Magneton. The Magneton can will outspeed you without the XP, and then yeah, he can actually confuse you. Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, confusion is bad at this point since we don't really have items to deal with confusion. We'll be getting the items to deal with confusion soon after this gym, however.
One of the nice things is what Boxmeister hasn't pointed out, because it's just autopilot at this point, is he has used X speeds last on the previous rival battle, and there's a nice mechanic since Gen 4 which allows you across battles to reuse the last used item from like the last battle, and so he could quickly access the X speed that he already had used on the previous rival battle, so saved nice input.
Yeah, we do that a couple of times across the run. It's a nice mechanic, definitely.
And this is the last game that had that feature.
Yeah, that's sad. Although they did improve it somewhat by giving you quick access to Pokeballs, I guess, for the casual player. Oh, that's the second world map. Good job, me. Okay, here we get another. Here we get see the rock smash mechanics coming into play. It's also the part where we slowly are turning our Marshtomp into an HM slave.
Are you saying my water star doesn't have a water move anymore?
Yeah. No more water moves. Also, no encounters.
Nice. Yeah, those rocks are weird, so even if you have repels up, you can still get an encounter, and it's 1 in 3 to give you an encounter, 1 in 3 to give you an item, or 1 in 3 to give you nothing. And in this case, we got nothing, I think.
Yeah. What can also happen, like I mentioned before, you can also get PP restoring items there, and that would allow me to skip the elixir in Victory Road. But you can also get a soft sand from the items there, which is useless in this category. In Elite 4 Round 2, it would save a little bit of time, actually. Because we don't have to unequip the soft sand from Marshtomp. Also, the rifle gave us a free heal, so we don't have to worry about our health and PP just yet. Now, this fight I saved in front of it for a reason, because this fight can actually troll you. Bacon can paralyze you. Makuhita can use knockoff to knock off your soft sand. At which point you run into a load of other issues if you're really unlucky. Yeah, the bacon is two turns. 1 turn if you would use the X attack earlier, I guess. But most of the time you'll be fine using the X attack on Makuhita. It's the fastest because Makuhita is very likely to go for Fake Out on his first turn, which would flinch you anyway. If you were to attack. So, because of that, this Makuhita is a one-shot. And we're fine. So, coming up immediately after this, we get one of the longest cutscenes in the game. So, Frosty, take it away.
Wonderful. I can definitely tell you a few things. I'd like to remind everybody that if you want to stay updated with our events, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, or even YouTube. You'll get a little bit more of a behind-the-scenes look of the events. Right now, it's a little bit more difficult to do that because we're all at home. But when events start happening again, you'll definitely with our Instagram you can see a lot more going on behind the scenes. But besides that, Twitter, YouTube, you can keep up with runs that have been done in the past, and any other information that we'd like to share on upcoming events of ours. So make sure to have a look at those. You can see them appear below the stream now and then. So if you want to follow us on those, that'd be super, super appreciated. And I think this cutscene still goes for a while, so...
Yeah, keep going. I'm typing a nice message here.
Alright, then I'm gonna also mention again that there's still 2 donation incentives open for this game. It's gonna be for both the Latios name and the Groudon name. Latios will be, if I look at the timer, probably be like in 30 minutes-ish. Right now, in the lead is Skarmory for the Latios name with 20 euros. So if you still want to see that changed, I wouldn't imagine why you would do so, but that's just my opinion. But if you want to see a different name than Skarmory, you still got about 30 minutes to make a donation for that. Groudon is a little bit further away in the run, but if you want to already get a name in for that, that's also completely fine as well. So, yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. So I typed a little message at Arun just for the heck of it. Only waste a few seconds. Just because I can. Now, since I've only fought a very arduous battle, this rifle's gonna heal me again. And now we're coming up into one of the interesting routes, where you have some trainers hiding in piles of ashes, which might be detrimental to your health if you would do that in real life, I think. Am I right, Wartep?
That sounds about right. I would not suggest that, indeed.
Ooh, this is bad. Yeah, this is the one range you don't really want to miss. Especially because the Trapinch, I missed the range on the Trapinch and I got the dig as well, which wastes an additional turn. Yeah, if in the best case you would kill the Trapinch on the first bulldoze, and at that point, well, it's only 1 turn instead of the 3 it took just now. Alright, now
That's quite unlikely with this attack.
yeah, okay. I dodged the trainer in the pile of ashes. That trainer has 3 coughing, and coughing are the worst because they have levitate, so bulldoze won't work against them. But yeah, hitting the trainer with the coughing there, I would like to call that choking, because it's quite literally with the gas type Pokemon and being in a pile of ashes and all. Feels bad. So it's one of the worst optionals to hit. It wastes a lot of time. That Ninja Kid.
Yeah, don't do that.
Don't do this at home, kids. In all seriousness, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire are relatively beginner-friendly games to pick up, I'd like to say. Pretty easy to get the run going into these games. And I have not regretted doing so far. Although the game can be trolly at times, I'd like to say.
Yeah, it's been surprisingly smooth currently. I cannot wait for that to go wrong.
I even got the comment shard on the first try instead of having to dismount the bike.
Wow, world record pace.
I know, right? Okay, this trader I am gonna take it safe, because Dodging that hiker with the bike, it's very easy to overshoot your movement there. Let's see. I think this should be good. Just in case, I'll be saving. Because we'll be coming up on our Team Magma double battle. And now this double battle is an interesting one. Because you'll be up against a Mytiana and a Coughing. And the Coughing will always self-destruct on the first turn. So combine that with the fact that we can use Bulldoze, we can basically make a rival send out a more favorable Pokemon. Because he'll be opening with Slugma, but we can easily kill the Slugma on the first turn. Thanks to Bulldoze. And looks like... we're all set. This fight in Alpha Sapphire, this fight goes a bit differently since the Team Aquaguns actually use Grimers instead of Coughings. So we would set up an X stack first and kill the Grimer with the Bulldoze as well.
Yeah, and in Alpha Sapphire, the Mytiana also doesn't have Intimidate, so that makes the battle much better on average.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing if my Marshtomp were to die on this fight. You would be missing out on some experience, but it's not the worst. Also, out of safety, I'll be definitely picking up the extra X defense, by the way. Especially since my speed is very good, so I can skip an X speed on Norman. Yeah, there is some, especially with regards to the X items, there is some management that we're doing. Some fights, depending on the stats of the Mudkip, some fights use less X items. And in case of Norman, it's interesting because Norman has Slacking, and Slacking attacks has an opportunity to attack every other turn. So your X item management on that fight is an interesting thing.
Yeah, it's a lot. A lot.
There's some, yeah, there's some underlying thoughts to that fight. I mean, since I'll be safety saving anyways, I could have also opted to skip it, but since it's a marathon run, I'd like to take it a bit more safe. And try get in on the first try. Then again, if Norman crits me, the X defense is not gonna matter. I should add, with regards to the remark I just made, a crit ignores any defense boosts. Oh, that's the wrong one. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so we bought max repels, full heals to heal status conditions, and hyper potions because they're the most effective healing item cost technically, because they for nearly all of, I think all of the game they oh wow they heal you to full health. I got an additional soft sand, nice. Oh, that's the wrong one. Nice badge case. So we'll be using...
Pretty good on the rock smashes here.
Yeah, it's not too bad. Guess I'll use the last potion here. Yeah, on the spinners, most of the spinners can relatively easily be dodged when you take it safe. Now the spinner I hit earlier was a bit unlucky because he turned whilst I was going passing his turning point. But most of the spinners are relatively easy to dodge. I'd like to say some exceptions, obviously. So right now we're on Mount Chimney in pursuit of Team Magma. Now in Ruby, Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby, the specific Pokemon you face are different. In Alpha Sapphire, this is a little bit faster because you have to deal with Grimus, which you can one-shot with your Bulldoze after next attack, so you can easily set up on both this and the next fight for it. And also the Archie fight is a lot faster. Oh, wait, wrong run. There we go. Now, Coughings, like I mentioned, are a pain because they have Levitates, so you have to resort to Rock Tomb, and the Coughings have small Smokescreen as well, and it has used 2 Smokescreens so far, 3 even. Oh boy, this is not looking good. Let's see.
Rip.
We'll deal with it. Okay, that's 2. I need 1 more. Okay, I hit the 3rd one straight after. That's fine. Oh yeah, this is the power of how trolly Coughings can be here. Luckily, the next this Tabitha here is a little bit more generous with this Coughing, because you can lure the Coughing into using self-destruct. And but that the problem solves itself. And he doesn't use accuracy dropping moves. Which is already a lot better. Self-destruct, please. There we go. If you're at lower health, Coughing tends to self-destruct on the first turn, otherwise you have to lure it out with the healing items and Rock Tomb, basically. Okay, this is not too bad. The worst thing is, what could happen is that you're at lower health and Coughing self-destruct crits, actually. And that's the 3rd world map. Lovely. Okay. Now, for the next fight, we'll be equipping a Person Berry. Because Mightyena is very likely to go for a Swagger, and we'll incorporate that into our strategy. Now, in Omega Ruby, we actually have to set up a lot more on this fight than in Alpha Sapphire, but that's because his Camerupt is very bulky.
Yeah, and also the Mightyena is intimidating this, why it doesn't in Alpha Sapphire.
Yeah, that's also a thing. So the Mount Chimney segment is actually a good bit slower in Omega Ruby. Coughing uses a few turns that fight, and you have a few extra need a few extra turns on this fight as well. So we open with Bulldoze and there we go. He did use Swagger, so that's good. He's very likely to use Swagger in Omega Ruby, or at least that's my experience. I need to use 2 of those. I have a safety save, I'll do it. Now I could opt to have healed there, because if I miss Rock Tomb on Golbat I might have a bit of a problem. But you know, we can risk it. My estimate is very generous. Famous last words. Okay, easy. That's good, because that's also the last time I have to reuse Rock Tomb. So that's good. The only inaccurate move I still have to use is Mudshot. But that's the fights I have to use Mudshot on are not the worst.
What about Precipice Blades and Overheat?
Yeah, okay. I'm talking more specifically about Mudkip. I'll admit, Overheat is also a bit problematic. And Precipice... Well, I don't have to use Precipice Blades if I have really good attack on Groudon, so let's hope for that. Again, famous last words. So, 2 things we'll be doing here. We'll be re-equipping Soft Sands, and I'll... Now, in the older route I would use my items to heal Marshtomp here, but a newer strat that we use, and a far more consistent strat, is to just use this lady here to heal your Pokemon for free. Which I think is slightly slower than healing from your menu, but it's more consistent. It's more consistent. At the very least, and I think you also save some time by not going for the Leppa berry, so I think it evens out somewhat and is consistent. Thanks to the fact that you don't have to select the correct move with Leppa berries and can just use elixirs. Because trust me, I've used the Leppa berries on the wrong moves before in my runs. And it's not a thing, not the worst on Mudkip, since you have to PP restore the first move, but it's mostly a thing on Groudon, where you have to restore the third move at some point. So yeah, Lava Ridge gym is a fire type gym, and we can dodge most of the trainers. Except one, and yeah, that trainer is a one-turn fight, because he's sending out Numel, and it dies... oh, okay, that was a me. I turned in slightly too early. Oh god. Of course, the one trainer in this gym that doesn't have a fire type Pokemon. This... yeah, we'll use Rock Tomb. How bad is this gonna be? Can I get a defense drop here, please? It has Flamethrower, interesting. We're learning all sorts of new stuff here. So, scratch that remark where I said that was the last time I had to use Rock Tomb. Also, I kind of have to heal. I will heal just in case Torkoal trolls me, because I have to use Mudshot on Torkoal, which is not 100% accurate. Now, normally this would be the only trainer we have to face in this gym, and this trainer is, yeah, relatively easy. He only has a duel, which you can kill with bulldoze. Instead of having to rely on things like Rock Zoom, or Rock Smash for that matter. It's not too bad. Could be much worse. I'm glad that I've only had to face one extra coughing instead of the 3 extra coughings on that route with all the ashes.
Yeah, that one is horrible to hit. And now we up to our, how many badges? 4th?
This is our 4th badge, yeah. Also, Flattery is a fun gym leader.
Some would say literally the hottest gym leader.
To be fair, Pokemon needs more red hats. It's also nice how they have the trees with the red leaves in the gym in this version. looking really nice aesthetically. Artwork wise, they did a lot of upgrades for this game. So, one Mudshot. Oh no. That's a critical hit. That means she's gonna heal. That can happen. If you critical hit the Torkoal, then you gotta get a heal from it. Okay. So, 4 gym badges get. Only 4 more gym badges to go.
Yeah, and Torkoal is a little bit too bulky to bulldoze, so you have to much hit it.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Getting a crit, it's one place where you definitely don't want to get a crit. Because the heal is just slow, and it's also unfortunate that it got hit by overheat. Because that means I have to heal. You can also get a Torkoal fight where the Torkoal uses Sunny Day first turn. And that means you get through the fight without taking any damage. I do kind of need to heal this. Yeah, I have enough. Should have enough hyper potions. So, Norman's gym is a gym full of annoying trainers, I'd like to say. Aside of one. And each trainer is annoying for different reasons. For example, this first trainer with the Delcatty, this Delcatty has Attract. And once you're under the influence of Attract, basically your moves become a 50% chance to hit. 50 chance, nope, didn't get it. And I got double slap. Okay, got bulldoze on the next turn. Delcatty can also use Sing, which can put you to sleep, which is definitely what you don't want to see. And the next trainer is A trainer where we also need to be somewhat careful with the damage that we do, because this trainer can heal himself when he's in low range. And for the most part, we forgo that by using an X stack and then setting up for 2 bulldozers. However, he can use Covet, which knocks off your soft sand, which means you have to use an additional move in between. Oh, forgot that the X stack was under the shortcut. It did use Covet, so that's a bit awkward. I am faster. Okay, this is good.
Hella high roll on that bulldoze though. I did not even think that could do. Oh yeah, it's because you're already level 28 because of the optional.
Yeah, that's the thing. I've also had it happen in that case where that I got a crit on with the bulldoze. And if you have Covet and a crit with the bulldoze, then you don't have to use mudshot in between.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can kill him with 2 bulldozers outright. Now,
and the reason I specify level 28 is because, as Boxmeister talked about earlier, the level is included in the damage calculation, and whenever an attacker has a level that ends in 0, 3, 5 or 8, it's gonna do significantly more damage than at the previous level, regardless of the attack stat. So Pokemon at level 28 with the same exact attack value as a level 27 Pokemon will deal more damage, about 10% more.
The reason I healed to full health before the fight I just finished is that Zangoose can't kill you from full health even when it does a crit, and it's very likely to crit because of the dire hits that the trainer uses. At least if you use a runnable defense on your Mudkip, that is. Otherwise, you do have a chance of dying there. So, Norman. Most dangerous gym leader fight, I'd like to say, because his sluggings hit like a truck. Luckily, they can only attack every other turn. Yeah, there's no way I'm saving time over PB on this fight, because my PB got a God Norman fight, by the way. It had 2 or 3 encores on slugging. Which is amazing.
I had that too.
Yeah, we need to set up a lot of items on Norman. We'll need to set up a total of 4 X-Attacks. I also saw me set up an XP and 2 X defenses, because I have quite the low defense. That's Encore, that's good. Because that means I can... this lines up very nicely. I can full heal on his attacking turn. So oh wow, it didn't even attack me. Nice. And that means it can't yawn me, because I don't want to fall asleep on Vigorot, because Vigorot is far more dangerous to be asleep on, because Vigorot can attack continuously. And because I didn't take any damage on the first slacking after all that healing, that means I don't have to heal on the third Pokemon. On the second slacking.
Which is not necessarily a good thing.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because the last slacking is only guaranteed to go for damaging move if it can kill, and when you're at full HP, it can't kill. So we
I got
can
the
see Swagger here.
I got the good fights.
Nice.
Good Norman fights. Can't really complain.
That was pretty solid. Pretty solid.
Yeah, that was really good Norman RNG I got there. Can't really complain about that. And actually we'll be coming up on Latios very soon. Because this is the last gym leader that Marshtomp faced. It's not the last battle. We only have one more battle left with Marshtomp before we main switch.
Oh boy, then you wanna be fast if you wanna snipe a different name than Skarmory for it. Latios still at 20 euros with Skarmory. So if you wanna change that, you gotta be fast.
Gotta go fast, yes. Now the nice quality of life upgrade they did in these remakes is that they gave you the option to be escorted to the places where you need to be next without backtracking a whole lot, which was what you had to do in the original games. You had to do a lot of backtracking. I'd say that's a nice quality of life improvement.
Yeah. Except some purists are sad about you not doing the very hard movement.
To be fair, we're having a game with 3D graphics. You can hardly call this pure. Pure. Pureness is overrated. Fight me. Nah.
Thanks.
Let's see. I'll be cementing Marshtomp's status as a HM slave here by replacing 2 more moves with HMs. Although Surf is a really good HM, I'll be teaching Surf to 2 out of 3 main Pokemon. In Alpha Sapphire, it's actually all of them. All 3 main Pokemon in Alpha Sapphire use Surf. It's are being taught Surf at some point, I should add.
Are you gonna teach Fly to Marshtomp later?
Imagine.
Be nice.
It would be cool, no, not gonna lie. But then again, you would still have to teach Dive to a different Pokemon, so doesn't work out as nicely as we want. This is not Pokemon X where you get handed the perfect HM slave. Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh boy, this is Latias. Is this Alpha Sapphire?
Yay!
Did
Good game.
Did I load the wrong game? Good game, bad main Pokemon.
Hey, you could still keep using Marshtomp, and then you're gonna talk again about how bad Latias is.
That is true as well. So yeah, I'm praying I get a bit of a decent Latios. To be fair, even the bad Latios does its job relatively fine. I'll be cutting cutting off the incentive at the end of the fight, Frosty, for your information.
Alrighty.
Oh, that's another world map open. If I thought about this in advance, I would give myself a penalty for hitting the world map. Like now, I'm hitting it twice. What am I doing? Jeez. Overmeshing. Always fun when that happens. Now this fight is relatively okay in Here in Omega Ruby, if I were in Torrent with Marshtomp, I would skip the heal, because at that point I have a shot of killing both Pokemon with ending the fight in one turn with a single surf. Unfortunately, I was ever so slightly off and at relatively low health, so I healed just in case.
Yeah, this camera plus solid rock, so it doesn't really enable the surfs 4 times strength against it.
Yeah. Oh boy. Earth Power, Camerup's Earth Power is a dangerous move, by the way. If you're at low health. If everything aligns nicely, this fight can actually kill you, but it's not a bad thing. Okay, I'd like the Latios name, please.
Alright, I'm closing it now, and it seems it's still Skarmory.
Normal capitalization?
Yes.
Okay, will do. Then I'll stop mashing B, just in case.
So it's BAD.
Wow. Wow.
It sounds like someone doesn't share your love for Skarmory, Frosty. There you go. For you. Also, this is the part where we somewhat get introduced to Mega Evolutions, even though they don't give us a dedicated battle to test it out yet. Technically, we won't be using Mega Evolutions ourselves in this run, because the version Legendary actually uses Primal Reversion, which is technically not Mega Evolution, although it works very similar.
Mega Evolution is also very, very slow, since despite disabling battle animations, you will still get an animation.
Yeah, and Primal Reversion is also not very fast because of the whole extra abilities thing and the animation of transformation.
And the ability is good though.
The abilities are good.
Not like it's a useless one.
Yeah, the one on Groudle is really useful as well, because it basically means that Glacia can't do much to us. Okay, dodge the bug catcher this time. I hit that one in my PB. Let's pick up the elixir. If I get really lucky, then this is also the only elixir I need to pick up, actually. Also the PP max. And now it's time to check the damage of how good or bad our Latios is. And we make use of the restore function in the menu to just teach the move. And let's see what we got. This looks neutral, actually. And it is 87 and 80. Maximum IVs on speeds. 40 to 60 neutral special attack. Which I guess could be much worse, so I'll take it. I mean, I have no choice, but PP max on Luster Purge, that's it. Okay.
These stats would be amazing for Latias.
Definitely.
And here it's just mediocre for Latias.
I think Latias needs to have a plus nature to have these stats. Am I right?
Yeah. For it needs plus special attack and some insane IVs, because the highest special attack you can have at least level is 88.
Oh wow.
87.
Okay, yeah, that's really insane. The fact that Latios has a good speed is also helpful, because that means I don't have to use as many X speeds. Allows me to skip an X speed on the rival 4. All in all, the fights Latios has to face are a lot easier than the fights Latias has to face. Because Latias has to face several admins that have a Sharpedo with Ice Fang, which is kind of bad, and Latios mostly has to deal with camera ups that die to a single Surf. Which is already a lot better. Oh wow, I one-shotted that Mighty Anna. Nice. That's good. That's really good. I like that. Already saving time with this Latios. That's nice. I like Latioses that are good like that, because it also means I don't have to heal before the before the rifle. And since it's raining outside, I actually will do the menu with the Mystic Water after the rifle. I mean, Surf should be a range anyway on the rifle, I think. Not with Latios. Is the Surf on the Slugma range in Alpha Sapphire? I forgot.
No. Surf is never a range.
Yeah, most of the time, yeah, it sounds about correct. So most of the times you use Surf in one shot. So let's head out of this place.
And this is probably one of the easier rival battles as well.
Yeah, definitely. Although to be fair, the Rival 2 battle isn't difficult either. It's just usually a long battle. But yeah, you have no risk against this rival fight. That is correct, or at least no real risk. Paralysis, please. Oh, never mind. Nice, I'd like to say. Don't you agree, Wartep?
Yeah. I agree.
So that's Rifle 3 done.
Please don't ruin this.
I'm pretty sure Swallow is gonna ruin this.
No, it just has to use double team 3 times, it's fine.
2 times. With my sweats.
No, because you're gonna miss.
Yeah, 3 times if I miss. Before we can head to the gym, however, there will be an invisible obstacle blocking the way, so we actually have to face another cutscene and battle to be able to get to the gym.
Biking on those bridges doesn't look very safe.
It doesn't, no. My experience with bridges like that is that they're very bumpy. It's probably not that comfortable. It's not that comfortable to ride on either, I think.
Boxmeister about to show off his intriguing battle style against the Skekleon?
I think my good friend Sniper Wave once mentioned it in Mystery Dungeon as the French struts. And I'm inclined to agree. Run away! Aww. No offense to the people from France.
Wow, Keck.
Keck. Oh man. We also get the Swampertide from Steven, although we won't be using that at all in this one. We don't even have Swampert. Swampert is used in the old trainers category of auras, but it's not. I don't think it's used anywhere else aside of that, from what I remember. Then again, not many people run all trainers. I only know 2 of them. Not risking this. If you do it well, you don't have to fight any of the trainers in this gym aside from Winona.
This gym blows.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Okay, we're in the clear. Oh. Because that trainer can't see you from the bottom. So it's absolutely safe to pass there. Now, with Nona, we need to set up 2 special attacks on the Swallow, and Swallow has double team. Which might make it a bit harsh. We're faster than Swallow though, and we only need to hit 1 surf on Swallow, so that's usually doesn't give too much trouble. It might have to happen that I have to heal somewhere in the fight. So here we go. Aerial Ace. Double team. And I hit it first turn, nice. Okay, we're good.
Cheetah.
Yeah, kinda. The rest of our Pokemon are pretty alright to deal with. Only if you have really bad special attack is Skarmory range, and I have relatively okay special attack. The only one that can still troll us a little bit is our Pelipper. Because Pelipper is very likely to use Protect. Yeah, I always get 1 Protect at least on Pelipper, but that's fine. This was a pretty flawless Winona, if I say so myself. Obviously, the fastest Winona would be with 2 double teams on the Swallow and hitting it then, and no Protects on the Pelipper, but that's rare. I have not seen it happen in a while where all of that lines up nicely.
I think ideally you get hit by 2 aerial aces. Or,
yes and no. Yes and no. It depends on your health. Because if you're really low health, then Swallow can go for quick attack and kill you. So that's something you have to keep in mind. But if if you enter the fight at full health, you get 2 aerial aces, you're mostly fine. That's correct. Now to properly dodge those trainers here. This time I make sure to actually stick to the bottom. And just for safety, I'll be picking up these person berries. Those person berries are nice to have. Saves me some full heals. Now conveniently there's also a Poke Center girl that will heal us over here. So that's really helpful. Now we can make our way to Vampire. Now in the original games you would have to make... the runners would actually go to Lily Cove first to set up the fly point. Because at this point we have the HM and we're allowed to fly. However, in this game we don't need to set the fly point to Lily Cove. So let's climb the rest of Vampire. A little bit of fun fact about the positioning of the macro grunts. Here you notice that they are in an alternating pattern, like left, right, left. In Alpha Sapphire, the grunts are actually mirrored, so it's right, left, right. One of those differences that you encounter. The same actually goes for their secret bases, which we'll see in about 15 minutes or so. They are also mirrored. Left is right.
They still have this pattern that they have Grimer in Alpha Sapphire and Kopfing in Omega Ruby.
Yeah.
And same for Cabana and Numa. They only share Marianas.
True.
I think.
In some cases they even have the same IVs, I remember someone mentioning.
Yeah, the IVs are always the same, it's just the natures that differ in abilities.
I'm gonna heal this Latios in between. Let's see. Oh, plenty. That's good. I'll be restocking Hyper Potion soon anyway. I should have thought Fly as well, but I guess I can do that on the post-camera ups as well if I have to heal. Swagger, interesting. Luckily I picked up a bunch of extra person berries. Okay, Scary Face is fine. And it missed the swagger. That's good. Was about to swagger me twice, wow. How rude. Meat look I could deal with. I actually don't need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be using a slightly older version of the Groudon strats. There are some newer strats. The difference between them was timed to be 20 seconds, if I remember Etiquette's notes correctly. But I'll have 20 seconds slower, but I'm not in trouble when if I hit optionals with Groudon. Because basically you'll be manipulating. Well, in case you get a worst case scenario at one of the Elite Four members, you can manipulate your HP by including a level up. And if you had optionals, then obviously that manipulation will be off. Now this fight is really easy. just a single serve against the Camerupt. In Alpha Sapphire, you have to use a minimum of 2 moves, and if you're really unlucky, then you have to use Marsh Stomp as well. That's what IVs you get on Latias. But you also teach Grass Knot to Latias, which is a TM you can find behind the 4-3 City Gym. Fun little move.
Yeah, it's not too bad. And it allows for faster Rival 4 battle as well.
Yeah, Latios doesn't do much worse compared to Latios against Rival 4. That's another world map. That's slightly too soon with the world map. I have to open it in a few seconds. That much is correct. But I have to teach Fly first. Oh. Psycho Shift is not a useful move, so we can just teach over it. And now we'll make our way to Slateport. Because we need to stock up on X items and on healing items. Now, if I got really lucky with the Mudkip, stats, I would already have several of the X items I need. Fortunately, I had to use all of them, so otherwise I would have had a few X attacks left. We buy guard spec, we need that for a specific fight, and we buy 6 X special attacks. Furthermore, we restock our repels. We buy a few full restores. And I stock up the rest in the form of hyper potions. We're all set for the end game in terms of items. Which is a reassuring thought. So far I haven't missed any moves, and that's important on Latios, because if I don't miss any moves at all in the ideal scenario, I don't have to use any PP restoring items in Lily Cove City. And that saves me, and it would save me an elixir if it lines up. And that means I don't have to pick up the elixir in Victory Road, even though it's under a second to pick up, basically. Well, okay, a few seconds maybe, but still. Relatively free to pick that up. I believe Alpha Sapphire automatically picks it up, I think.
Which one?
The Elixir Victory Road, the one beyond the trainer with the Malwile.
No, you don't pick that up.
Okay, you don't.
It's only an Elite 4 round 2.
Right, that's the Elite 4 round 2 thing in that game. That's correct. To be fair, you can do the same strats with skipping the Lepa berries as I do in Alpha Sapphire, I guess.
No, it's slower.
Okay, it's slower.
Because you have to equip Soft Sand anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense. It is a bit more consistent since you don't have to select the right move, I guess. But it's not too much slower, but it's a few seconds, I guess. Since you take the heal from the lady at the top of Mount Chimney. Yeah, these fights with grunts are easy. Now, a more dangerous fight is coming up next. That fight can go wrong relatively easy. Luckily, I have to use the minimum of X items against Brandon because my notes say I can skip one X special attack if I have 86 or higher special attack, and I can skip the X speed with 78 or higher speed, and I hit both of those benchmarks. So that's nice. I will be saving. Just in case. Because I think my latest healing point is still Little Root Town at this point. Because I still haven't entered the Pokemon Center yet. It's crazy how little you have to enter Pokemon Centers in this run.
Yeah, you basically don't need to do it at all.
Well, we do it 2 times, I guess. And that's mostly to do a PC heal, the one before Victory Road and the Pokemon League itself, obviously.
Does that one really count?
The one with Pokemon League, you kind of have to enter it, so that one doesn't really count, but the one before Victory Road definitely counts.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it does.
I kind of have to heal here because Sceptile does have Dual Chop, which can kill me. From that amount of health, as you can see. But from here I should be fine. Sceptile is very likely to go for Detect. Now the reason I kind of want to use Dragon Bats there is because I want to save my Lust purchase. And that's to make my PP management line up. I think. Nice, okay. My PP management is exactly where I want it to be. Good. Because from here on out, PP management is very consistent. Or relatively consistent, I should add. Now, it wouldn't be too much slower to actually heal my PP. If I had to do it, I had to do it because we'll be healing here anyway for HP.
I just thought about an improvement for the route on Rival 3.
On Rival 3?
Yeah, if you're not using the third X special attack on Winona, means you have good special attack, right?
Yeah.
So you can use it on Rival 3 and one-shot the Grovyle and the Whelmer.
Ooh, that's a good one. That is a nice one. Now, dodging the spinners here in these bases can be a bit tricky. Now, the worst part is between the versions, the layouts are mirrored, so that's mostly okay, but they also switch around some spinners and some static trainers, and that always throws me off whenever I'm running Alpha Sapphire. So I've hit many optionals in my PB, I think. Let's see, I need to check Dragon Breath. I do need to heal before taking Liza. This is the only difficult fight you have to face in this hideout. All the other fights are, yeah, one surf and it's done. Also, you have a teleporter maze here. In Alpha Sapphire, you need to go left. In Omega Ruby, we go right. Although we do have to use a little slightly slower strats to get ourselves the Master Ball. Little spoiler here.
Just talk to the tree. Oh no, wrong game.
Yeah. In Alpha Sapphire, you can go behind the things and talk to the tree and always get the Master Ball. In here, I need to face diagonally to get it. All in all, it's not. All in all, it's not too much of a difference. Few seconds at most, because you have to pick up an extra item. I'll make a way back to through this teleporter maze. Now, Gen 6 introduced the lovely mechanic of horde encounters in the wild. Soon, after the next trainer that is, we'll be facing something called a horde battle. And you'll also see what it does to my video game. Because my 3DS... Well, most 3DSs don't really like that fight. I mean, it's not a... we don't have to do 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi there, but we do... you do see the 3DS struggle a little bit. Okay, 4 Mississippis.
No, it's not actually 3DS that struggles, it's Game Freak that struggles at programming properly. They just waiting for animations to finish, and that's why. Just so stupid. But it takes a long time.
Yeah.
Right. Probably even have Frosty save stuff.
Yeah.
Happen.
I'm not sure if I'm that fast with saying things.
You have some time. All of these fights are using Surf, so go ahead.
Alright then, I can just talk about a few things. Quick reminder once again that there's one more donation incentive open for this game, which is for the Groudon name. Right now in the lead is the Barney with €5. It's not a super big amount, so we can still easily beat that. So if you don't like Barney, that name can still be changed. And I'd also like to remind that after this game, there will be another incentive for the Fantasy World Dizzy run to add an extra run to that. It will be the Dizzy 3.5 game, which is like a little bit game in between the third and the fourth game. The one that we'll be seeing is the third Dizzy game, if I remember so correctly. So if you want to see an extra run of that happen by Tiny Tim, you definitely want to see that. Still need quite a bit for that. We're at €10 out of 200. But I believe that this run still goes on for a little bit. So I'm 100% certain that we can still reach that, because I want to see more Dizzy, more Tiny Tim, and you want that as well. Trust me.
Same TBH. I do need to adapt my strats a little bit if I want to have optimal PP management. Should work. Now, I do need to heal before taking Liza, so let's do that here. So with the hideout done, we'll be heading to our 7th gym badge already. Jeez. Okay, we're getting there. Our upcoming sea route is a matter of dodging everything on there. But if you move the same way, then you never get into trouble here. The only thing that can happen is you get too close to that stack of land I slipped by and you accidentally dismount the surf, which is, you know, sad whenever that happens.
Yeah, not optimal.
This gym all about dodging the trainers. And for most cases, it's pretty straightforward. Because this trainer can't see you from the absolute right of this platform, so you can pass on the top. This trainer here is static. The next platform with the trainer, she is a spinner. I'll be taking it absolutely safe. Because I once had it happen that I pressed the switch from the bottom and she turned into me before I talked to it. So the cutscene of talking to the switch happened and I knew that immediately afterwards I was going to get the trainer and I got the trainer. Which is extra sad. Extra few seconds of dread. Now the Tate and Lysa fight is a cool fight, I'd like to say. It's a really cool... Here's really cool mechanics here, because in this is a double battle, and we use our double battle partner, so Marshtomp in our case, to use X specials on the Latios. And that makes the fight very quick. We also use this fight to kill off our Marshtomp, and that's to set up for victory roads a little bit later down the line.
So what you're saying is that this gym is pretty mental.
Yeah, it is. Definitely. Guess you don't need to be a psychic to come up with that kind of response, right? I hear Frosty disapproving in the background. This is fine.
SMH. SMH.
I'm proud. I'm not gonna retract.
Okay. Now Solrock is locked into Hyper Beam. And Lunatone is out of heal range, and yeah, our Skarmory is faster, so that's GG. I'm actually saving time here. Oh, that's right. I think I remember I hit that lady on the which I mentioned on the platform in this gym. Feels bad, man. So. Still under 10 minutes behind my PB, so that's really good. I have set a relatively generous estimate, so but right now I'm looking to finish at 15 minutes under that, but that can still change, though. So bear with me. And the nice thing is I didn't take any damage on Tate and Lysa, so I don't need to heal my Latios. And if I'm really lucky, I don't need to heal him at all before Maxi either, because Maxi will be coming up relatively soon. And after that I have to cross my fingers to get a decent Groudon. Although Groudon, every Groudon is can make it to the end, so it's not that bad. But depending on what Groudon you get, it's either slower or faster. That's the major thing. Let's see, let me open the Groudon calculator already. That's not Groudon calculator. Hang on. There we go. So it's time to for our Marshtomp to go full HM slave, because the last normal, well, quote unquote normal move it still had is gonna be replaced by Dive.
Poor Marshtomp.
To be fair, Marshtomp died in the line of duty. Which still is sad, but you know, it isn't in vain. Okay. Let's go to the seafloor cave and face Team Magma once again. And what I will do is I'll place a save here. Let's hope my PP management works out fine. I have to dodge this spinner. Don't you hate it when you can't pass with a bike through the opening and you dismount the bike and you line up exactly in front of the opening? Well, that's what can happen in this game. Yeah, the puzzles in here are pretty easy. Here's the one trainer we have. Normal grunt we still have to find in this room. I once had a run happen. You see those rustling encounters on the floor? I once had a run happen where I hit 2 of those rustling encounters in victory roads with my repels up.
Neat.
That's incredibly rare.
It's some nice time loss.
Yeah. I thought for the longest time, like, did I forget to use repels or something? But they were still up, actually. Really weird.
Yep, that sucks.
So the next fight coming up is against Maxi. Now you saw me buy a guard spec earlier when I did my last shop in Slayports. And the reason to do so is Maxi's Mightyena, which is his first Pokemon, is very likely to go for Scary Face. And so it's an ideal target to set up on, and Guard Spec lasts nicely for 5 turns. Now I am gonna safety save before this fight, because there's a very rare chance that his Mightyena will use Embargo, which means I can't use items anymore. And if that happens, it's a rip. Now,
so what you're saying is that we want to see Embargo here for some content.
I agree with you on the content side. As a runner, I ideally don't want to see that, but you know, it's the reason I safety save. Because you're dead. You're usually dead whenever you get embargoed. Unless it's on the last X special attack, then you can somewhat pull it off. I guess, but not very favorable. The problem is also that you can't use healing items when you use Embargo. Okay, that's one Scary Face. And X speed. Not a Scary Face. So far so good. GG. This fight is virtually in the pocket. Because The reason I was looking at my PP management is you need 2 serves and 2 lost purchase for this fight. And all of those moves can't miss. And once you have completed the setup, they're all 100% consistent for Latios. And even for Latias, it's I think 100% consistent once you finish setup. Am I right? Yeah.
One thing you want to have is higher speed than Crobat, because Crobat has haze, and if it uses that against you, you lose all your boosts.
Oh yikes!
Which
Yeah,
is pretty bad.
that's rough. So that's Maxi 2 done, which means we'll be coming up on the first of well, I like to say 3 cutscenes where you could take a pee break in. Usually this is the point in the run where, like, you know, I could fancy a bathroom break, and then I usually use the cutscene after Groudon to go to the bathroom because it's 2 minutes long or something. Feel free to talk, Frosty.
Alrighty, well, this amazing cutscene starts to play, and I can tell you a little bit more about who we are. Like, we're BSG, and we are currently raising money for Mind. It's a nationwide organization committed to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who has dealt with mental issues themselves, or within their family, close friends, everybody basically. All donations made during this marathon will go to Mind, and they can really use those donations. Also, big thanks to ESA for supporting the event and for allowing us to stream on their channel. For information about their upcoming events and any changes due to the COVID-19 outbreak, be sure to check out esamarathon.com. Also, big shoutouts to if you're to other events on this channel as well. For example, if you're from the UK, I would like to have an event similar to BSG. We highly recommend checking out UKSG. They, when things start going back to normal, they hold an event in Glasgow, running 4 times a year, while they raise money for Young Minds, which is a very similar charity to Mind, what we are raising money for. So if you are interested in that and you're from the UK area, make sure to check those out as well. Want me to still go on with the
You can do one more.
Alright, then I would like to tell that we also, as BSG, support small community events. If you, for example, you can see events like the Harvest Moon Marathon, the Colin McRaeathon. They happen on their own channel, twitch.tv/BSG_marathon. So if you're interested in seeing those events as well, or maybe potentially hosting your own one on the BSG channel, make sure to keep an eye out for that as well.
Thank you very much, Frosty. So yeah, Hoenn is in a pretty sunny state at the moment, I'd like to say. It's the ability of Primal Groudon, actually, called Desolate Lands.
This is why I'm glad that I don't have game audio enabled.
Yeah, in Alpha Sapphire you get a different team, right?
Yeah, it's much better.
Yeah, I agree on that, actually. It's the reigning team is much better, and to be fair, it looks a little bit more apocalyptic with the heavy downpour. Oh, little fun fact for Frosty, who might know is a big Skarmory fan. Steven is using a flight Pokemon here. It's not depicted clearly, but judging from his champion team, it has to be Skarmory.
Yay!
Well, we actually have fun.
Clearly, it's the Metagross.
Totally. To be fair, flying on a Metagross would look a bit more epic. Sorry to tell you that, Frosty.
Emoji.
So yeah, we fought our last battle with Latios, or at least our last trader battle, because we'll be facing a Pokemon soon. Soon TM. after several more cutscenes. Because this split I'm on from Maxi 2 to the 8 Gym Leader is cutscene paradise. Although there's one split that obviously takes the cake in terms of cutscenes, I guess. And that's the very last split of the game. Because that split is almost entirely cutscene. And still under a heavy discussion within the community, I guess. But here we get introduced to the 8th gym leader, Wallace, Guardian of Sotopolis. It's actually funny now that I think about it, because you will be catching the version legendary soon. That's Groudon in my case, in Alpha Sapphire's Kyogre. But Groudon actually has an easier time against Wallace than Kyogre does. Even though Groudon has a complete type disadvantage. Although Kyogre is the same type, which is also not a type advantage, I guess. But yeah, here we get a lot of talking between Team Magma and Team Aqua leaders. Archie talking over there. Wallace talking, and then a rival shows up, talks a little bit more. A lot of high octane gameplay. Frosty, for your information, at the start of the Primal Groudon fight, I'll be cutting off the incentive.
Alrighty. Quick reminder to people, still in the lead in the moment is Barney with 5 euros for the Groudon name. If you want to see something else as the main name you see on the main Pokemon, make sure to donate soon then.
You have 3 minutes to donate, basically. So let's get into the Cave of Origin. A Cave of Origin is luckily a lot easier to navigate. I think in the original one you had to use Flash here, I think. Not completely sure. Which is a pain. I consider Flash an overrated HM back in the day. Don't think there's a single Pokeball speedrun where we actually learn and use Flash. But I could be wrong. Right, Portep?
Sorry, it cut out for me, so I didn't hear what you said.
There isn't a single Pokeball speedrun where we learn or use Flash, right?
Flash?
Yeah.
Yes, there is.
There's one?
You, in hard gold any percent, teach Flash to Raycow to manipulate the RNG on the red battle.
Ah.
Because you can fully manipulate what happens in the battle, so you can make Pikachu more likely to miss thanks to Flash.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yep.
That is cool. I learned something new today. That's nice.
Yeah, that's kind of a meme, but it works out pretty well. Since in any percent you skip so many battles, you don't have enough experience to deal with the battle normally, so you have to manipulate it.
Interesting.
But glitchless runs, you're right.
Yeah, okay. All right, you used it in the glitched category. You're telling?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Because it skips like a good chunk of the game.
Yeah, you skip almost 2 hours of the game or something. Crazy.
I think it's like 1 hour.
Okay, 1 hour.
Forgot. Wait, let me check.
Now
Oh,
this
no,
is one of the more
1.5
epic.
hours.
I forgot to point out the very epic cutscene of us riding on the back of a Groudon through lava. But this cutscene, the cutscenes both in this version and in Alpha Sapphire involving Kyogre are really cool. The primal versions. And it's like I like what they did with the Alpha and Omega team. And Primal Groudon, I will be using Primal Groudon for 3 fights in this one. So newer strats only use him for 1 fight, 2 fights optionally.
Also, Primal Groudon gets additional typing because normal Groudon is only ground type. But
Yeah.
This one is fire type as well.
Yeah, with Fire Ground type, you're thinking like, oh, can I get the name, please, for the Groudon before I forget?
Yes, it is Barney. Barney.
Capital B.
Capital B.
Although, if I spell it wrong, I'll fly to Slateport to correct it. It's gonna be fine. Because I actually have looked up prior to this run where the name radar actually is, just in case. But so far I don't need the name radar. Where was I? Yeah, the fire ground typing. Groudon has a fire ground typing, and that would be 4 times weak to water, which you would think. But because of Desolate Lands, the Intense Sun actually evaporates any water type moves, so water type moves are ineffective against you, which is really helpful, especially on Glacia, since, well, she has ice types, but the only dangerous Pokemon which you have to use more than well, there are only 2 Pokemon on which you have to use more than 1 turn, and the second Pokemon which you have to spend 2 turns on is very much locked into using Surf against you because of your typing. Even though it's very clear that Desolate Lens is active. So it's really nice. In Alpha Sapphire, you're not that lucky, unfortunately, and you have to deal with other stuff against Glacia. Something sheer cold. I'm really curious.
I don't know what you're talking about.
To be fair, I have suffered under sheer cold as well, so you know. And sheer cold could technically still happen for me. So I will be saving before Glacia, but it's very unlikely. Although it happened to run to T-pad. It happened to T-pad 2 times within 1 week. So you know, you never know. If we see it, it's gonna be high quality content. But yeah, preferably you don't see it.
I'm ready.
Yeah, so far this run has been going relatively okay. I can't really complain. Yeah, this theme we're hearing right now is one of the best themes this game added, in my opinion. The Aurus OST is amazing. Really like the game's soundtrack. Always gets my spirits going whenever I'm running this game. Although, due to the starter resets, the Little Root Town music, well, I don't like that as much anymore, I guess. But, you know, if that's the only one, sure.
Very relatable.
Yeah. Actually, all of us in this voice call have run Omega Ruby in some form at some point. Even Frosty has done a quote-unquote casual run.
It was a thing. Not sure if Pokemon running is a thing for me.
To be fair, from what I've heard, you had a pretty good time as well for that one attempt. You had 4 hours or something on your first try, which is pretty decent. I should add.
I would need to look up what my actual time was, but I think that's about right, I think.
Let's see. Equip the Perseberry. And we're gonna use a rare candy here. Now I need to be careful. 141 attack. That's ooh. That's not very good. I do have plus speed. And interesting. I have maximum IVs on attack and speed, but I have a minus attack plus speed. Interesting. Still means I can skip one of the 2 Precipice Blades you potentially have to do on Wallace. Speaking of Wallace's Gym, Wallace's Gym has an ice puzzle, which you have to do very exactly, so I'll be definitely safety saving here, and I'm focusing a little bit here. So feel free to talk about stuff, Frosty.
I
Alright.
think your gym is pretty cool.
Darn it, I wanted to make that fun.
Rip.
Dang, that one moment that your name is Shadowfrost and you have all your ice puns ready and then you get sniped on the pun. Anyway, yeah, I can talk about...
Maybe you can come up with other very slick puns.
I like this.
Nah.
Come on, Frosty, don't give me the cold shoulder here.
Oh no.
No, the way that you're pressuring me, I don't think that's a very chill thing to do.
Got me there.
GG.
I didn't talk about any charity plugs, but I think we made it through the ice puzzles.
Yeah, I like some banter. I'm a big fan of that. I mean, you kept the fun. I mean, you kept the puns flowing, I guess.
Cool, nice one, nice one.
Sneaky one.
Yeah, after this, there's gonna be a good chunk of movement to talk about charity.
Yeah, definitely.
So, fun fact, this battle is easier with the Groudon than with Kyogre.
Not that one. Precipice Blades. I think that's the only time I have to rely on Precipice Blades in this version of the route I'm doing. In the newer Groudon stretch, you would potentially have to rely on Precipice Blades a lot more. Precipice Blades is also not 100% accurate. I do still have to rely on Overheat still, which is also not 100% accurate, but Well, we'll see about that. There we go. We also get the HM, last HM we need from Wallace, Waterfall. And Waterfall will be teaching on our Latios since we used all of the move slots on our Marshtomp. Luckily we only have to use Waterfall exactly once. Now if we were to run Elite Four round 2 we would use it a couple more times, because we'll be teaching it to Rayquaza. Which, you know, does a decent job to using Waterfall, I guess. Overheat and Smack Down. Now we'll be replacing the one inaccurate move with the other inaccurate move. Will be oh yeah. What happened to me right now is the so-called menu glitch. If you teach moves to your Pokemon, there's the off chance you get a B input as soon as you're done teaching the move, and you exit the menu, which is always a bit sad when it happens. Because
it can waste quite a bit of time.
Yeah, it wastes a few seconds to open the menu again.
And now our Latios also becomes our HM slave?
Yeah, Latios only has 2 HM moves, so we have 1.5 HM slaves. Out of 3 main...
It has 3. It has Fly, Servant, Waterfall.
Oh yeah, right. We got me taught surf through that as well. Okay, careful here. That little girl at the bottom of that route, I've hit that optional way too many times in my PBs and runs. She only has 1 love disc, so 1 earthquake is enough to kill it. But it's still sad whenever we hit that. But now is the first time we're actually gonna enter a Pokemon Center in this run. We almost forgot these existed. But it's faster to use as a PC heal. I will be depositing Latios and Castform. We keep the fainted Marshtomp in a party. With that, we have 2 Pokemon with 1 of them dead. And we need Marshtomp for the HMs. But because Marshtomp is dead, the double battles against the pairs of trainers won't trigger. So we can skip all the double battles in Victory Road. It's really cool. This trainer you can dodge by going behind him. And here we have Ace Trainer Hope. Ace Trainer Hope is annoying because she has Confused Ray. I still have my Person Berry equipped, so Confused Ray gets healed immediately if she goes for it. And Overheat hits as well, so in that sense I'm fine for the duration of Victory Road. So I only need to hit 2 more Overheats in this run, which is against Phoebe, the second of the Elite Four. Now, in the original game, these floors were almost fully dark as well, and you had to use Flash. In these games, they only darkened them a little bit, since Flash is no longer HM. Yeah, you can see pretty clearly, even with the darkened atmosphere. Most of the fights in this in Victory Road are using Earthquake or Lava Plume. Oh, actually, this one. Yeah, Victory Road is very straightforward in that sense. Because these older threats use a rare candy on Groudon, he's in a slightly better position. He's stat-wise in a slightly better position compared to the newer routes. But it's very minor. Not sure if it even makes a difference against Wally. There were some rages on Wally, I remember, with the newer route. But they're very likely ranges to hit.
Yeah, I have no idea. I'm not an expert on Omega Ruby.
Yeah, fair. Now, normally, once I finish this battle, normally I would have to pick up the elixir after this. However, since I saved an elixir earlier, I don't have to pick it up. I can just skip it. Which is really nice. Now, you have to dodge an optional here. It's a very common optional to hit if you're caught unaware. This is the last room we have to do in the dark. And it's the second to last trainer we'll face inside Victory Road. After this we have only one more trainer, and that trainer has one of the coolest music out of on one of the coolest tracks on the OST.
No.
WhatsApp disagrees. Endure.
Second loop, please.
Hmm? Sorry, what did you say?
It's a 20-second loop, please.
Still think it's a cool track.
No. Cannot say that. It's illegal.
That's fine. You're entitled to the wrong opinion. Nah, in all seriousness, it's a matter of taste, I guess. I hear Medicham in the distance. Actually, that's we can't get encounters in this part, so that's I actually saved out a repel. Nice. Which does mean my movement is pretty decent. Now, Wally is a really straightforward fight. I haven't talked about Smackdown yet. What Smackdown does against flying type Pokemon, it'll put them on the ground. So Earthquake becomes ground type moves become effective against them. And that's nice, because then we can wipe him off the map using Earthquake afterwards. Safeguard is good. Cotton Guard could be bad, but not since I've already gotten a lot of damage in, so this fight becomes relatively free right now. Now, I am using Earthquake instead of Lava Plume on Roselia to skip the super effective text box. Now for Magnemite we can't really avoid it, because both Earthquake and Lava Plume have it. Magneton. Magneton does have Sturdy, so we have to use 2 moves. It's relatively free, and the rest is all Earthquake. And that's how you can see what a beast Groudon also is, because Groudon is not too much slower, because Groudon can deal with his opponents pretty well as well. The only major advantage Kyogre has, Kyogre is reliant on special attack, and Kyogre can learn Calm Mind, in which you can boost your special attack and special defense at the same time through the use of moves instead of items. Which is far more favorable than using moves instead of items is faster, definitely. Am I right in that analysis?
Yeah, and Groudon gets Sword Stance, which is also pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. We'll be making use of Sword Stance a little bit later down the line. But first I'm gonna equip something before I forget to do that, which is the Red Orb. Now, if you equip the Red Orb, the Groudon Primal reverses at the start of the fight. And Primal reversing is relatively slow because of the whole cutscene going on. Let's see. We deposit the rest of our Pokémon, and we're all set. And the nice thing is, because I have maximum speeds on this Groudon, I can actually forgo the X speed on Sydney. I can skip several X speeds from the looks of it, actually. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's nice.
That somewhat makes up for the bad attack. Although bad attack doesn't really lose you too much turn-wise. If you had really good attack, then if you have really good attack, then it still wouldn't make too much of a difference, because you either get to skip one Sword Stance or one X speed on Drake, if I remember correctly. But the good speed does help me out on Glacia as well. Yeah, it also helps me on Glacia actually. But still not too much slower actually. Now Sydney has some interesting Pokemon. But most of these Pokemon die to Lava Plume or Earthquake. If you would use newer strats, you wouldn't Primal Reverse here, and you would be at a lot more risk. Because at that point, Shiftry can do major damage to you, Cacturn can ruin your day. But all of that is of no concern to me currently. The only thing that can still happen is that Shiftry can cost me a turn because it's very likely to go for Fake Out. Like this. And it will go for Leaf Blade on the second turn, but it looks like I have relatively decent defenses. I haven't checked what my defense is, but I honestly don't really need to know. Because we don't use any defense items on Groudon, because Groudon in and of itself is already very bulky. That's what it's a legendary Pokemon for, after all. The next trainer is the more dangerous, the most dangerous fight for Groudon, I would like to say. Because Phoebe can ruin your day. Several of Phoebe's Pokemon have Pressure, and Pressure means you use 2 PP instead of 1 per move use. Pokemon also have Curse, and I have to rely on hitting Overheat, which is not a 100% accurate move. So yeah, the safety save before Sydney was optional. The safety save for Phoebe is definitely not. There are two scenarios possible if you use the nearabouts. You would get Cursed or you would get Confused Ray. You deal with Confused Ray through Perseberry that you would equip beforehand. But yeah, you're very likely to get Cursed, and you level up after getting Cursed, and that would allow you to survive an additional turn. But if you would have hit optionals, you would run into trouble with Curse. Or outright get killed because you have to hit Precipice Blades, which is also not 100% accurate.
Overheat is also bad.
Overheat is not good either, but I have a little bit more leeway with Overheat. Because that's 5 PPs, which means I have 3 uses out of it. I can afford to miss exactly once. This Sableye is a range, but it's very likely to go for fake outs, so... But I hit the range, so we're good. Bulk Up, it's not a move we use, unfortunately, because Sword Dance is better. Plain and simple. Because Bulk Up would boost both your attack and defense by 1 stage. Sword Dance increases your attack by 2 stages. So for your first move it would instantly double your attack. Making it the preferred choice on Groudon. We'll be teaching it to Groudon after Glacia. Seems like I hit all the required overheats. So that's good.
Nice.
That's a good Phoebe fight. Yeah, I'm bound to go at least 15 minutes under my estimate, by the way, just as a heads up. Because I'm roughly 10 minutes behind my PB. So I will let the credits play out, because even with credits it would go 15 to 18 minutes under estimate or something. It's crazy. It's relatively clean run so far. Can still go wrong. Also, don't have.
You'll be actively trying to jinx this.
I mean, at this point, I don't mind getting to see some interesting scenarios. I mean, I'm safety saving anyways. Will we get the Sheer Cold on Glacia? Let's find out. Walrein has a shot at getting Sheer Cold off if he goes for it. But Sheer Cold is very unlikely to hit me as well, even if Walrein would go for it, because it's a 1 in 3 chance to hit, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And it's also extremely unlikely to even go for the move, so you know. Walrein does take 2 turns, so she will have the opportunity. But if it's Surf on this turn, it's GG. Yeah, she went for Surf. And this is the point where we would insert Wartep's quote from earlier, but now you should reset to see how bad the fight can really go. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Oh wow, I missed range.
What? That is a range? I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah, it's not listed in Etiquette's notes, I remember now. It is actually a range. It's a bit silly. I'll, just to be sure, I'll go for Lava Plume. We'll teach Swords Dance over Lava Plume anyways after this, so don't have to be too mindful about my PP management.
Oh yeah, you have negative attack, that's why.
Yeah. So, a lot of stuff is gonna happen now. We'll be equipping the Silk Scarf actually on Groudon, because we'll be teaching strength to it actually, amongst others. Strength we'll be teaching over Overheat. We need to use strength a couple of times because Overheats. Because not every Pokemon can be dealt with Earthquake. At Swords Dance, we teach to Groudon to make maximum use of our quote-unquote super high attack stat.
Yeah, it raises your attack by 2 stages, which is doubling the attack.
Yeah, one more. Using it once more means you have triple the attack, and using it 3 times would give you quadruple the attack. And that would be the maximum you can get. A little bit of fun fact, we're actually gonna go for 3 Swords Dances on the upcoming 2 fights. If I had really good attack, I could skip a Swords Dance here, but it's a no-go today on that one. I can skip the X speed, however, so there's that. And it's nice if you can miss some setup on Drake, can skip some setup on Drake, because Drake can put Groudon in a bit of an awkward spot health-wise, which means I would have to use an additional turn to heal. Because if you get on really low HP, Salamence can kill you because it has priority moves. I found out through experience.
Yeah, I don't actually know what it has.
I think it's something like quick attack or something.
Oof.
It's really sad that it has that. Should be fine still. Salamence can't kill me from here. Famous last words. Kingdra we also use Earthquake on. However, on the Flygons we can't use Earthquake, so we actually have to resort to Strength. And something similar also happens on the next fight against the champion, Steven. He also has Claydol, which Earthquake doesn't work, so we actually have to resort to Strength there as well, making it worthwhile to teach the move. And that's GG for Drake.
Now one last battle.
Yeah, you could call it that. The next battle is pretty cool. Not gonna lie. Let's see. Because Champion Battle is a really good team, if you ask me. Besides, the Stone Edge crit can still happen on Steven, I guess. Shout out to Embrae. Oh.
Impossible.
Yeah, she mentioned it was nearly impossible to happen. Because the first Pokemon we'll be facing against, we'll be setting up on Steven is actually Frosty's favorite.
Yay, Scurry!
So here we go. Now we don't have to worry about our speed on this battle because we're outspeeding everything here, but we do need to set up our for physical attack. Now Skarmory does have Toxic, and if it uses Toxic, we have to heal it off. Although we can do that so after a few turns. There is a very small chance that it doesn't go for Toxic, and at that point you could potentially skip a heal. But I'm done setting up, so all I need to do is... I used the wrong item. Shoot! Hang on. I need to use full restore here. Selected the wrong... Ah, it's fine.
I'm gonna die.
Nah,
bad.
I should be fine. Now it still has a chance to go for another Toxic, because I have to kill it in 2 moves. Because I have to set up Smackdown on it. Which sounds surprisingly a lot like Cool and the Gang sort of like Get Down on it. Let's see. Now there are only 2 dangerous Pokemon left. Aggron is one of them. Because Aggron has 30, so we have to use Smackdown on Aggron as well. And if we're really low health, then this should be fine. Then Metagross also has the chance to kill us. Because Metagross has Bullet Punch, which is a priority move. But as it stands now, we should be in the clear. For Steven. Just as a heads up, it's not time yet after this fight. In fact, it'll take about 12 minutes more.
And
GG.
GG.
Minutes 53 seconds behind my PV. I would think like, okay, you know, normal Pokemon games would be like, okay, Hall of Fame, you're done with the game. Not for this, not for Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, because after the Hall of Fame you have 10 minutes of credits, and after the credits you have 1 battle. And this one, the person who will be battling is actually in this very scene we're facing here. So we actually have to wait for that. Yeah, during the credits you can't do nothing. You can't do anything to speed up the credits. You can't even skip the battle, because the game autosaves in the Hall of Fame, right here. And if you reset the game from here on out, you actually end up in the Hall of Fame back again. You can only progress further if you get the save after the last battle. And it's also that the end appears after that last battle we have to face, so we consider it part of the game. For now, at the very least. Yeah, we got a Groudon in the Hall of Fame, and we're the Pokemon League champion. And in case anyone needs a bathroom break, these credits take 10 minutes. You can take a shower in this amount of time even. And yeah, gives me time to relax a little bit.
While you relax for a bit, can I mention a few things here?
You have 10 minutes. Go knock yourself out.
All right, not sure if I'm gonna fill 10 minutes here, but there's a few things that I want to mention here. The first thing that I want to mention though is due to Box being so incredibly fast at this game, the scheduling crew has decided that we're gonna add an extra run to the marathon. It's gonna happen after Grip Shift, where currently in the schedule you see the setup block. At that point, we'll be showing a run of Demon Shift by Laser Trap. So definitely, Box is so amazing for running so fast that we get to show even more games. So definitely stay tuned for that one.
Thanks for showering me with praise. Keep it coming.
No worries. Praising your, I can try. Box is such an amazing and nice person. He's such a great guy.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay. Then I'd like to take this time as well to mention that for the next game coming up, which is for the Fantasy World Dizzy Run by Tiny Tim, there's still a donation incentive open. It's for the donation incentive to show the sequel of the game. It's like a little, well, not really the sequel. It's like the in-between game.
Integral.
Yeah, that's Box. Even Box helping me out here doing my plugs. He really is such an amazing guy. I'm back to praising you. Yeah, for that donation incentive, we're currently 10 euros out of 200 to make that happen. So we're still a little bit away, but the incentive closes at the end of that run. So there is still time to make it happen. And once you see that game, you know why you want to see that bonus run as well. So make sure to get your donations in for that. And speaking about donations in general, I'd like to remind also everybody that we're raising money for Minds, which is a organization that raises money for raises awareness and, let's say this correctly because I wasn't fully prepared to speak for 10 minutes. So yeah, they raise money to prevent mental health issues and to support everyone who has dealt with mental issues themselves or within their family, close friends, etc. So any donation you'll make, they will go to Minds, and they can really use that a ton because they're really working hard to making that happen. A fun thing for the Dutch-speaking viewers among us, starting on 30th of November, Mind presents a week-long live stream themed around performance pressure. During the stream, they'll have experts answering questions, giving tips and advice about things like motivation, handling of stress, and loneliness. Registration is free, so definitely check them out. Also post a quick link in chat here. And even if you don't speak Dutch, I'm sure there's people around who can help you, even potentially help you translate some things that are being said there, because regardless of where you are, this is a thing that involves many people. Oh, with that being said, do you want to talk some more things about it?
I can tell something. This credits show you, give you a bit of a summary of what happened throughout the run, basically. Fun fact, recently I had to switch to digital because my card, on which I actually have my backup medkit, would crash at the exact same point in the credits every time if you would do a full run. It would be at the Wally catching a Ralts cutscene, so yeah. Etiquette jokingly said that Wally did ruin my game. It cost me actually 2 PBs, which is sad. Although the third time I went for a PB was on the digital copy, and I basically did a run far better than those two. So that was me getting revenge for that. Also, yeah. Anyways, it's these credits take an awful long time. It's still 5 more minutes of credits left. Overall, this run was pretty good. Can't really complain. I got good starter on the second try. Got relatively okay RNG. I didn't have to reset to any save after getting the starter, I guess. Which is good. Which is also why I'm this far underestimate. Because there are plenty of battles that can go wrong, but if you take it even if you take it very safe, you can get a really good time in this game. I hope today will prove that my run today will prove that to you. And yeah, if you're interested in running the game, feel free to check out. We have a link. We have a link to this Gen 6, Gen 7 Discord on speedrun.com, if I remember correctly. And yeah, the Pokemon Gen 6, Gen 7 community is great community, very helpful people, nice people, really fun to do all kinds of wacky things like Wonder Trade races or even randomizers. Also, definitely give my co-commentator Wartap a follow. He's an absolute beast of a Pokemon speedrunner. He's world champion, world record holder of the English versions of the Gen 7 games. If I remember correctly, you have all of them, right? The English ones?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, aside from old 3DS Ultra Moon, I guess.
Oh yeah, right, forgot about that one.
But he has also done massive routing for Gen 8, the Sobble route, the fastest route without any DLC is of his design. He contributes immensely to ORAS, to Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire, but also to Pokemon X. He is really amazing notes, and he's definitely a cool guy. Please give him a follow. And I also want to thank BSG for having me, because we'll be finishing up very soon. This upcoming battle, which will start in about a minute, is against a rival, as I may have spoiled a little bit earlier. The fun fact is, you don't get any experience, you don't lose any money or gain any money from this battle. And it doesn't matter if you win or lose, you'll get the end. So, well, shall we make a little bit of an effort to win here? Wartap.
Hell no.
Fun fact, I once used the wrong moves on, I believe when I was running Alpha Sapphire, and I wasted a minute on this fight. I was like, oh crap, I accidentally one-shot the Pokemon that was supposed to kill me, so I was trying to win the fight, and it went right up until Sceptile. Because he has to make a Mega Ring, and he would Mega Evolve with Sceptile, but we're not going to see that, because this fight is going to end before that. We do Alpha Sapphire actually can do this fight a little bit quicker, because they can set up the kill on Swallow. I have to go for a second Pokemon, for Wailord. So to do that, I'll kill the Swallow using Smackdown. Although you could potentially also set up the kill on Swallow, I guess. Nice meme. Didn't even one shot the Swallow. That's how bad my attack is. That's kind of sad, if you ask me.
That doesn't really matter.
Nah, it doesn't really matter. Wailord will go for Surf as soon as the sun wears off. I've also had runs happen where he immediately goes for Ice Beam. And now his next move will be Surf. Oh, get ready on time, by the way. Time will be as soon as I fade out from battle. Which is right now.
GG.
3:23:16 on my end. So yeah, that's Omega Ruby. In 3 hours, 23 minutes, 16 seconds. Looked was good. Got good, decent RG. Can't really complain too much. Yeah. I'd say. Well, like I said, thanks to BSG for letting me show off this run. Feel free to contact us if you are interested in running Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. We also there's plenty of options. Feel free to check us out. And with this, I'd like to give it back to the host and to BSG.
Yes, Box, thank you again so much for running this game. I definitely enjoyed watching this game a lot, so thank you so much for showing this. Yeah, we're going to be setting up for the next game over here, which is the Fantasy World Dizzy Run by Tiny Tim 78. Donation incentive for that one is still open for the bonus run afterwards, so make sure to, if you want to see that happen, to donate. And with that, I'm going to be signing off as well. This was my hosting duty for today. Up next, we got Killer Chair up next, and make sure he feels welcome when he starts his hosting shift. And with that, we're going to go to the intermission, play some ads to set up the game, and we'll be back really soon.